See, the world of the transfer window has absolutely lost its mind. It has lost its mind because the way they are moving is crazy. But we'll take it back. We'll give you the context of when these things started happening. Because when I'm telling you that things were going on crazily back in the day, just as they were going on crazy now, in fact, it feels like it's just ramping up when it comes to these days to meet up with those days. And when I'm saying this, you might say, what is this man talking about? Because when you look back, Neymar leaving Barcelona to go to Paris Saint-Germain, they paid 222 million euros for his services. 222 million euros. Now, he did not get them the Champions League. But he's a legendary player, so we can absolutely understand that. And then you look at Kylian Mbappe from Monaco, 180 million euros. That is insane. That is insane to the same Paris Saint-Germain. And then you look at Ousmane Dembele, 148 million euros. Just insane football. But guess what? Those three players on that particular line has not done it for that particular team. Dembele has now done it for Paris Saint-Germain, but they did not pay that amount for Dembele. Dembele going from Dortmund to Barcelona was the craziness that we saw in that situation. And Dembele was injured majority of the time at Barcelona for that price. Alexander Isak from Newcastle to Liverpool was 145 million euros. You can do the conversion when it comes to pounds. They broke the English whatever in that situation, the transfer record on that situation. And then you go to Felipe Coutinho of that past time, over 135 from Liverpool to Barcelona. João Felix, 127.2 million pounds, or million euros, sorry. Jude Bellingham, 127 million euros. And now Florian Wirtz in 25 million euros. But guess what? This season has absolutely come and we have seen the craziness continue. Because, let me move this because so you guys can understand I'm serious. Because Manchester City went out and paid 113 million pounds, which is arguably 135 million euros. Now, the news coming out from Nottingham Forest is saying around 130 million pounds. Now, I hope that's not the case because that would be ridiculous. Elliot Anderson is a superstar. He's a superstar in the making, but he is not a superstar yet. He's not. I understand how good he is, but he is not. But today we are going to be talking about Morgan Rogers because Chelsea Football Club, in order for them to get the player that Xabi Alonso wants, they have gone out to spend 135 million pounds. That's mind-blowing. That is mind-blowing. It is truly mind-blowing in my mind. I know Morgan Rogers is a good player. I know Morgan Rogers is a talented player. There is no doubt about that. But 137 million pounds is insane. Or let me use it in euros is insane, but let me use it in pounds. 117 million pounds. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. So what we are going to be covering in this video is we're going to be talking about why Chelsea are willing to spend 170 million pounds on Morgan Rogers. We're going to also speak about Morgan Rogers chose Chelsea over Arsenal. You get me? We're also going to speak on Xabi Alonso's reported influence on the transfer. Rogers, how he adds tactically to this Arsenal team. Whether he is going to be an overpay or a future superstar for Chelsea. And how it impacts Chelsea's title ambitions. And most especially, at the end of the video, we are going to be talking about Aston Villa and what they do next after this massive sale. We are absolutely going to be breaking it down. So make sure you guys lock in, get your drinks, get your tea, and we are going to break this down. Starting, let's go with the first step. Chelsea, why are they willing to spend 170 million pounds? Now, this is a team, right, that has one of the best success rates in selling players. I know it is truly amazing the way they do it. They have one of the best success rates in selling players. Now Manchester United bought Andre Santos from them for 50 million pounds. And Andre Santos has only played one season in the Premier League. and we don't really know how good he could be. We know that he's talented, but we don't know how good he could be in the Premier League. They are also looking to sell Garnacho for the same amount of price. So that alone has funded this particular situation, because they also are going to amortize the situation to break it down for the long run. You get me? Because when Dave Ornstein comes out and tells you about this deal about Morgan Rogers, it is mind-blowing to think about, because Dave Ornstein says Chelsea reached a verbal agreement with Aston Villa to sign Morgan Rogers, bid for a 170 million pounds accepted by Aston Villa and being finalized. It is going to be a 6+1 year contract. Medical on Monday. Arsenal interested, but the 23-year-old attacker wanted Chelsea. Xabi Alonso is absolutely instrumental in this situation. Those were the words from Dave Ornstein, the Oracle himself. Dave Ornstein, the Oracle himself. Now, let me give you guys a breakdown of what we have seen in this situation, right? Because a lot of people would think that how are Chelsea getting this money to pay? Chelsea are really shrewd operators when it comes to the transfer window, because we are seeing 117 million pounds. And then we'll divide that by 6 years. They are only paying 19.5 million pounds every single year, because Dave Ornstein did not specify in this contract, because we know he knows how to put his words right. He did not specify with the amount of money going directly to Aston Villa right now. Guaranteed. Immediately. You understand? We are not talking about add-ons, but what we saw at Nottingham Forest was that Nottingham Forest and Manchester City got the deal done and collected their money and went home directly. That is what we saw. So we are not seeing it with this particular situation, and that is what is different in this situation. So Chelsea have the opportunity to spend that money, because they are spending 19.2 million pounds for him to come for 6 years. That's how much they are going to be spending. But I know it is mind-blowing, because when you look at Chelsea's team, you are seeing, excuse me guys, Enzo Fernandez, that is another 100 million pound player. You're seeing Moises Caicedo, that is another 100 million plus pound player. And now you are seeing Morgan Rogers as another 100 million pound player. It is truly insane. These people have absolutely come out to play. They do not want any options. They don't want any excuses from the players and from the manager. They are giving them everything that they want. They are spending like drunken sailors. To be honest with you, that's what they're doing. Now let's look at the reasons why Morgan Rogers chose Chelsea over Arsenal. Now, this is the key part about this situation. Based on the way Xabi Alonso wants to be playing, he is going to be playing 2 number 10s. Just like Ruben Amorim. Cast your mind back in the day where we saw Ruben Amorim do his thing. So we have the back three. Let's move this back three in this situation. We are going to be having situations like this. Right? We are going to be having a back three of Levi Colwell and whoever they chose, and Jared Hatto. And then you will have Rich James and the young guy that they are bringing in the left back. But then this is where the situation will go. Caicedo will sit in the middle, and then you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You would have Enzo Fernandez being one of the number 10s, and then you would have Morgan Rogers being one of the number 10s. So that is what Chelsea are going to be doing, and it's truly amazing to see that that is what they are going to be doing. But the key part about this situation is that they have also specified that his versatility is one of the reasons why they wanted to bring him to Chelsea, and it's mind-blowing because he can also play that left wing position. He can also play in case Xabi Alonso decides, okay, I'm not going to do the 3 in the back with the fullbacks. I want to go to a 4-2-3-1 situation. He can also be that left wing situation. He can also be the number 10, so number 10. And the funny thing is that he can also play that false 9. And we have seen him with England this year play the right wing position. His versatility is absolutely enormous. And that's what we have to give him credit for. It is absolutely enormous and it's truly remarkable for what we have been able to see from the man that does his thing. You get me? That is what we'll see in that particular situation. And then when we look at Xabi Alonso's influence on this transfer, he's influential because he spoke to Chelsea. He made sure that they gave him somebody that would be the Florian Wirtz of Leverkusen for this Chelsea team. They wanted someone that would absolutely understand the way they wanted to play and understand every single thing about this situation. And that is what he was getting in Morgan Rogers, because he's someone that is very creative, has the ability to roam around the pitch, get the ball here, take the runs, make a run. His ability to absolutely carry the ball through spaces is remarkable. And so, if he does anything close to what he did with Aston Villa in that year, even the last year that he won the Europa League, Chelsea have just gotten a really good player. That's one thing. Now, what does Morgan Rogers add tactically? The first things first, we need to understand that Morgan Rogers his duels with a lot of people is absolutely insane. Let's give you guys the numbers exactly, because I want you guys to understand this as crystal clear as possible, because I believe that Morgan Rogers is a really good player and what he provides is going to be remarkable when we start speaking about Morgan Rogers in clear terms. You get me? Because the truth about it is that what we look at his strengths is quite simple. He is a playmaker. That's one. He has the ability for long balls. So he has the diagonal passes. Those things are absolutely crucial. He is high pressing, so he can start the press from the front. He's not one to sit back. We have seen him play the number 10, the attacking midfielder. We have seen him play the left wing, and we have seen him play the right wing. Now, his weaknesses, of course, are the ball control. Tight ball controls are not his thing in tight spaces, so they are not his thing, unfortunately. And also, aerial duels are where he struggles the most, in my mind, based on what I've watched. But instead of me just giving you surface level situations, let's go deep into what the Premier League said last season. You get me? The 25-26 season, what he did last season. So we'll look at the attacking situations. He had 10 goals last season, an expected goal of 6.78. So he absolutely blew out the expectations. He did more than what they expected, and that is a good thing, but also a caution, because sometimes when you see people go 3-4 goals ahead of what they are expected, it might just be a flash in the pan. We hope that's not the case for Chelsea Football Club, but that is what we usually see. What we saw in last season was 0.3 goals per game. Shots was 2.3 per 90. Shots on target per game is 0.9, which is pretty good. Big chance missed was 4, so he could have literally scored 14 goals and did not. And then we are looking at goal conversion rate is 12%. Not the greatest, but not the bad thing either. Okay, so now let's go a little bit more into his passing, because this is what Chelsea fans would absolutely want, especially the likes of Xabi Alonso, because he had 6 assists. So in the entirety of last season, we were looking at 10 goal contributions from the Premier League. And then the expected assist was 4.30. He also goes past the expected assist, and that was absolutely amazing too. It was amazing. His touches was 48.8. In that situation, big chances created was 13, absolutely magnificent. Key passes was 1.3 per 90. His accurate passes in a 90 minutes is usually 75%, which is 21.5%. His accurate own half is 80%, so he doesn't lose the ball as much in his own half. And then when you look at the opposition half as accurate passes, you go down a little bit, which is 72. But the reason why it's going down is because he is a creator. So he wants to create, therefore, he's taking more risk, he's taking more chances, and therefore he can miss more passes. You get me? The accurate long balls is 1.0 in this situation, but accurate chip passes is 54%. So what we are seeing in this situation is just his ability to be the right man. be the right guy, be the person that would absolutely make things happen for his team. But the key part about what we are seeing is that Morgan Rogers is also 23 years of age. You get me? 23 years of age, has now will be moving to Chelsea. You get, prefers to play with the right foot, and the truth about it is that we will see what goes on in this particular one. And then let's move to the next thing, because, bro, we have also just talked about it tactically, what he's going to be bringing to Chelsea and the reason why Xabi Alonso wants him. Now we are going to be asking whether this is another overpay or a future superstar. We would not know until that 6 years is up. That's one. However, based on what we are seeing right now, based on the market, Morgan Rogers is not worth 117. Well, let me not say that, because you're only worth what people choose to pay for you. However, based on my evaluation or what the world of football would think, Morgan Rogers should be a 70 million pound player. But because he's English, we are going to tack on 20 million more. So maybe 75 million, we'll say, okay, maybe 95 million. But never 117 million pounds. Never that. So in my mind, based on what I'm looking, Chelsea might say, this is worth it to us. We absolutely want the player, and we are not going to allow Arsenal get him from our grasp. And they went out and paid something that Aston Villa could not refuse. However, when you look at the whole thing, you hope that he doesn't look overpaid, because nobody talks about Declan Rice being overpaid, even though they paid about 105 million pounds for Declan Rice. 105 million pounds for Declan Rice. Now, what we are looking at is every single traditional top 6 team has paid over 100 million pound for a player, apart from one team, and that is Manchester United. You get me? Manchester United have not paid that. Arsenal have paid for Declan Rice. You get me? Arsenal have paid for Declan Rice, and they are looking to pay for more. Chelsea have paid for 3. Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, and now Morgan Rogers. Tottenham Hotspur have paid for Sandro Tonali. They have paid for that. Liverpool have paid for Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz. Manchester City have paid for... Who did Manchester City pay for? I think £100. You guys remind me in the chat. I think Manchester City have also paid for someone that is £100 million player, if I'm not mistaken. Elliot Flipping Anderson. They have paid for him. So it's just Manchester United, and I'm not saying that to be the moral high ground of £100 million players for Manchester United. It's just saying that, look, it seems like Manchester United and the top 6 team have realized that for us to win the Premier League and for us to go far in the Champions League, we have to pay the money, because the last nine winners of the Premier League have come from every single person that have paid more than £200 million or £200,000 per week for their players, and that's what they have won. So Manchester United are also now putting a cap on the £200,000 for their wages, and that has become a problematic site for me. But then we move to the next one, which is, how does this impact the title ambitions for Chelsea? I think it's absolutely showing every single person and every single Chelsea fan that they want to go for it now. They want to go for it now, and they have abandoned all we want to get 25 and under players to rebuild and sell. They have literally said, look, we are going for it now, and we believe in Xabi Alonso, and we are going to give him whatever he wants. Because, yes, I understand Morgan Rogers is a 23-year-old player, and they might turn around and sell him. But I don't think anybody that would be going to buy Morgan Rogers in this kind of situation will be paying that amount of money. Next. You understand? I don't think that will be the case. But I believe, based on what they are doing right now, they are absolutely looking to win right away. And that is good news for Chelsea fans. And last but not least is what Aston Villa would do next after a massive sale. I think this just gave Aston Villa a lot of money to navigate. Yuri Tillemans left. They got 35 million for Yuri Tillemans. Luca Digne left to Paris Saint-Germain. They got 10 million pounds from from Lucas Digne, and now they have gotten 117 million pounds. They have just got Mzambi from Freiburg in Germany. They are going to do more. I believe you will be looking at them bringing the likes of Jackson from Chelsea to Aston Villa. We will literally look at that and we'll keep an eye on that. But the truth about it is that now Unai Emery have gotten an opportunity to just splurge, because Aston Villa has always been stuck behind the PSR wall and never been able to spend. However, now that they have literally accumulated a lot of money in the Premier League, which is profit for them, they are going to spend a lot of money. Now, in this particular deal, 15 million will be going to Middlesbrough, because they had a sell-on clause for Morgan Rogers. And so they are absolutely with a really good amount of money. They have literally 102 million pounds for them to spend in this particular one from this deal. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the follow button, because Aston Villa have gotten a money. Some may say they have just fleeced Chelsea out of the largest amount of money that they could get from Morgan Rogers. But the people that believe in Chelsea and people that support Chelsea will look at this deal and say, nah, bro, we just got a really talented player. We just got somebody that the best team in the country and arguably the second best team in the world wants. And that's Arsenal, because Arsenal wants Morgan Rogers. They wanted Morgan Rogers. They were pushing for Morgan Rogers. Were they going to go to 117? Probably not. But what does that do for Arsenal right now? They just absolutely made Bruno Guimaraes 100 something, because Newcastle will be foolish if they sell him for less than 100. If they sell Bruno Guimaraes, now that's two English midfielders that are not better than Bruno Guimaraes is sold. Yes, one is 24 or 23, or the other is 23. And Bruno Guimaraes is 28, 29. I don't care. Bruno Guimaraes is still better than both of them. And Newcastle would absolutely have to be strong in this situation. If you want Bruno Guimaraes, Arsenal, you give us 100 million pounds and you take him. If not, sayonara. I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the follow button, and turn on your notifications so you do not miss out on anything that we do here on Pillar Sports. I will see you in the next one. Love y'all. Peace.